J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone another Chicago Bulls related video. Just going to be going over some more recent acquisitions that the Chicago Bulls have made that I have not yet covered on the channel. My apologies for that. And then what I'm going to be doing is playing a general manager. I'm going to be discussing some potential trades that the Bulls could make, two trades that they can make, realistic ones that I think would help shape their franchise and set them up for a possible run at an NBA championship this year. So just going to be going over that. Let's start it off. We know that the Bulls had drafted more recently Patrick Williams with the 4th pick in the NBA draft, and he's looking pretty good based on what we see. And then in the second round, they took the overseas player that's going to probably play overseas for at least a year, Marko Stojanovic. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he's going to be good. He's a good shooter, and that's what we need. And he could be a starting center for us in a couple years. And then in addition to that, we had signed a free agent guard that was a rookie in that draft, Devon Dotson, and he's a point guard that I think we need. And to get his skill set without drafting him, I think that's a good addition. And then, of course, we had made our big free agent signing. We signed Garrett Temple, a backup, more of a shooting guard, a 3-and-D type player, but he's a 2-and-D type player, Garrett Temple, who is actually the vice president of the Players Association. So that's the moves that I'd already covered on the channel. But more recently, the Bulls actually signed Noah Vonleh, a guy who we've had before, actually, a couple of years ago. And he's a good player. He puts up 7 and 7 with limited time on the floor. And I think, he could be a double-double guy for us if given the minutes. And, he was a high pick in the draft, like the 7th pick back in, 2015 or 14 or 16. So we're bringing him into the fold. And depending on if we make any deals, he could actually play a big part in the team. In addition to the signing of Noah Vonleh, the Bulls also brought in another guy who is on the Warriors and the Lakers, and that would be Zach Norvell Jr. I don't know a lot about this kid, but he's from Gonzaga, and he's a good three-point guy. Gets a steal a game. As far as he's like 6'5", 205. I don't know how good he is defensively, but the more pieces to the puzzle we need. So we need guys to fill up roster spots, especially if we make some proposed trades I have. So he should be okay. He's probably going to be a D-League guy, and so is Devon Dotson. He'll be another D-League guy. And then there's a couple trades that I think the Bulls should actually explore. And these trades would actually match up with salaries for the most part. There was a rumor about this before, but I think they should try for it. If, we wanted a guard that could score more, so we didn't re-sign Chris Dunn. What about if the Bulls actually did acquire Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook has gas left in the tank. If we were to get rid of Otto Porter Jr.'s contract, Cristiano Felicio, and probably Orion Arcidiacono's contract, that's about almost $40 million there. Westbrook's contract is about 41.36. I think we could get Westbrook. Maybe we have to throw in a second or first round pick too. But we're giving them 2 expiring contracts. That should help them out. And Diacono doesn't even make that much money. So Arcidiacono. So I don't know if we even have to throw draft picks out. If they want to get rid of that outrageous contract of Russell Westbrook, there's your chance. And then he would fit in at point guard for us. Levine would be the shooting guard, and then we would have Kobe White kind of playing both positions, backing up both guys, and then we'd be set. Now, as far as that creates a whole lot small forward, if Patrick Williams is as good as people think he is and he looks good, put him at the 3. He doesn't have to do too much because you got Westbrook and Levine and other guys that can do all the scoring. He just has to make a couple threes here and there, play good defense, and maybe get a steal or a block a game, and he'd be set. So there's one trade that I think is very realistic that the Bulls could do. I know people think Westbrook's old and he turns the ball over too much, but the guy gets averaged a triple-double. If he can score, 18, 7 assists and 5 rebounds and maybe a steal a game, that's really good production for us. A lot more than Chris Dunn did on the offensive side of things. So I would do that trade in a heartbeat because I don't see us bringing back Otto Porter Jr. Cristiano Felicio, nobody likes him anyway. And Arcidiacono is, this is a must. If this trade is offered to us, we got to do it. If we have to throw in a first or second or a combination, I'm okay with that. And then the other trade that I was going to propose is a trade with the Utah Jazz, where the Bulls would actually acquire Rudy Gobert, and they would have to give up Thaddeus Young and Tomas Satoransky, and then probably another player, possibly like Luke Cornett or somebody. If the Rockets don't want Arcidiacono, then include an Arcidiacono on there. What that would do would give us a solid center, a real center, a true center, and then we could move Lauri Markkanen. We could keep him at the 4. Now, another thing we might be able to do in this trade, we might have to include Wendell Carter Jr. with Satoransky and Thaddeus Young. We still have our power forward. We still have our center. We have Noah Vonleh backing up Markkanen. We got Daniel Gafford backing up Rudy Gobert. And I think that trade works. Both of those trades, I think, work for us. So then we can bring out a starting lineup of Rudy Gobert, Lauri Markkanen, Patrick Williams, Zach LaVine, and Russell Westbrook with like Kobe White, Noah Vonleh, Daniel Gafford. You know, those guys are our key players off the bench that would make a huge difference. So those are the acquisitions we've made and the acquisitions I think we should make. I want to hear your thoughts. Obviously, there were rumblings about Russell Westbrook. I think that would be a good pickup for us. And I know his contract sucks, and we'd have to keep him for 3 more years. But, I mean, are we realistically going to sign a free agent? How much money is Zach LaVine going to want when he becomes a free agent in, was it 2 years? How much money is Lauri Markkanen going to want when he's a free agent after this season? So that's where I think we should just get Westbrook. He's a little old, but he's not as old as Chris Paul, and I want a Chris Paul. So it might work out with us. So you've heard what I thought, or you heard what I had to say about these acquisitions and these proposed acquisitions. So if you're a fan of the Chicago Bulls, and you are very interested in what I'm talking about, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody else that you think realistically would be interested in watching or listening to this video, share the video with them. Let them know they can share it with whoever they want. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments section about your thoughts. The trades that you think should be made by the Bulls. I don't think they should trade Zach LaVine under no circumstances. But if he's a free agent, we might not be able to re-sign him. You know, let me know what trade would be better. If one of them you think would work, like the Rudy Gobert or the Russell Westbrook, give me your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section if there's any other free agents you think the Bulls would sign. Yes, I know we should give Anthony Davis a call too, but we got too many power forwards, so I don't know. I don't know if that would work out. But, I mean, if we could work out a trade for Anthony Davis, I'd be okay with the proposed sign and trade deal, but that means we basically essentially got to give up Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr., because Wendell doesn't want to play the 4 unless Markkanen, bulks up a little bit and becomes a 5, which could happen. And again, whatever you can think of, make sure you leave it in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Bulls reacquiring Noah Vonleh and the signing of Zach Norvell Jr. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special. And of course, JDev will return.